Hey, this is Mr. Elmhorst with the star review mini lesson. We're going to look at two-step equations and inequalities. So as we get started with this, the first thing we're going to do is circle any variable terms. And within the variable term, it's and the sign to the left. So what does that mean for this first example? Circle the variable term and the sign to the left. There is no negative sign, so we'll just circle that. And then we're going to draw a line down through the equal sign where we're separating the left side and the right side of this balancing equation solving process. So go into the next one. We have the variable term is on the right of our equal sign, and we're going to circle the variable term. And once we get to this one, we're just going to write we have 2x. And there's 1, 2, 3. It looks to be positive because there's no negative. And then here's our equal sign. So once we have our equation, we're going to circle the variable sign, the variable term, and the sign to the left. And then we're going to draw a line down through the equal sign. Okay, so after we circle the variable term and we separate our solving sides, then we are going to start solving using inverses. Start solving using inverses, and we're going to start on the side of the variable. So because the variable is on the left side over here, we're going to start by adding or subtracting. We're going to undo adding and subtracting first, and then multiplication and division second. So adding and subtracting, we're going to undo adding of 13. And what we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. And then that variable term comes down to the second step. And that's going to cancel. So 90 minus 13 divide by 7. The variable is on the right side. So we're going to start on the right side using inverses. And then what we do to one side, we're going to come over to do on the other side. So now we're solving and isolating for the variable x. What value could that be? Again, here's the variable term on the left side. Then we're going to bring that variable term down to the next step. So 2x comes down to step 2. And jumped ahead a little bit. So that's 4x. So we got 16.27 minus 2.23. If you have positives and negatives, you're just going to subtract. Okay, so it's just a quick review of solving two-step equations with a simple process of circling the variable term and then start solving using inverses on the side where the variable is located. So the next part of our review, we're going to be looking at inequalities, inequality symbols. So we got less than, greater than, and you have less than or equal to, and then greater than or equal to. So x is greater than greater is going to get the open side of the inequality than 3. X is less than gets the closed pointy side of the inequality symbol, 3. X is greater than or equal to, greater than or equal to 3. And X is less than, I did that wrong, greater than or equal to, and then this is the less than or equal to. There we go. So greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, so we're going to start where the value is being compared to, 3. And this is greater than, so we're going to put an arrow to the greater than side. This is less than, greater than, and less than. Okay, so as long as it's variable sign number, variable sign number, variable sign number, then we're going to graph it pretty much as it looks. So now this one is not equal to, so that it's not shaded. There's no shade. It's not equal to, not shaded. And this is equal to, so it is shaded or included. And this is equal to, so it's shaded or included. So solving the inequalities and graph the solution set. While solving inequalities, we're going to follow them very similar to solving equations. So this is going to be a 3x plus 2 1/2 is greater than 7. We're going to circle the variable term and we're going to bring the sign down. Now, if the variable term is positive, then we keep the sign the same. If the variable term is positive and the sign's on the left, then the sign's going to stay the same and we're just going to solve for x. So we're going to start on the side with the variable term and then make sure you line up whole numbers with whole numbers and then decimal place value with decimal place value. So finish solving. Those are going to cancel. So we got 7 minus 2 and then 0.5. So 7 minus 2 is 5 minus 0.5. So it's going to be 4.5 divided by 3. Solve the inequality and graph the solution set. Circle the variable term and the sign to the left. Now, because that is a negative variable term, then this, and during the solving process, this is going to flip the inequality sign. So once we solve going down, we're going to solve for x, but that is a negative variable x. As you solve for a positive variable x, we're going to end up with x is less than or equal to instead of x is greater than or equal to. Start using opposites here. We're solving using inverse, starting on the side with the variable. And if these are different signs, we're going to subtract these two numbers. They're canceling, so negative 32 plus 4 is going to be negative 28. And we're going to divide both sides by negative 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So we're going to finish that up and then go ahead and graph it. We can check that within the class. So John is saving money to buy a new video game console. So it looks like we have a word problem here. We're going to be writing equations and inequalities. So we're going to be looking at whether it's a greater than, less than, or it's an equal to situation. So the first one, he already has $40. He has it. And then he plans to save 10 per week. So whenever we see per or each, that's going to be times. So 10x. And he wants to have at least 150. So we take the 150 and that keyword at least, at most, under, over, above. We're going to use that 150. And this is the least. That's $150. And if this is the least, that means it's less than whatever this is, or it can be equal to. So this is the least. We want to have everything more than that. So we've got 10x, 10 per week, so it's 10x, and he already has $40. So write an inequality that can be used to find x, then the number of weeks it takes him to have enough money. Okay. All right. So looking at the next one, he travels 90 miles, and he needs to be traveling 90 miles. He's already traveled 15 miles. So this is done. So that's 15. Write an equation that can be used to find x, the number of hours Ethan will need to travel at 55 miles per hour. That's each per, so times x. So 55 x, and he's already traveled 15, but the total mile, the total amount that's being traveled is going to be 90. $7 and $3.50 each. Each is x, and all of that is going to be not more than. If it's not more than, then it's going to be less than or equal to 18. All right, so for the last one, we've done equations, inequalities, inequality word problems. So the last one, we're going to look at angle relationships and connecting them to equations. So complementary angles are 90 degrees, supplementary angles are 180, and then opposite interior angles are also 180. So we take a look at the first one. We have supplementary angles. Supplementary angles are equal to 180 degrees. So those two angles together, the measure of angle A and measure of angle B is going to be 60 degrees, and add them together. 60 degrees plus 3x is equal to 180. Then we just solve like we have been doing. Okay, next one, the measure of angle C. All of these are going to be complementary. So complementary angles are going to be 90 degrees. And we need to put these two angles together that are going to equal 90 degrees. We have angle C, which is 10x plus 5. And then angle D, which is 15. All of that added together is equal to 90 degrees. So we can combine a couple things here. So that is plus 20. And then we're just going to subtract that 20 from both sides, starting to solve. Bring the variable term down to the next step. That all cancels. So we have 10x, which is equal to 90 minus 20, which is 70, and then divide both sides by 10. All right, last one. The angle measure of a triangle are shown. What's the value of x? So we're going to find the value of x. So all of these angles in the triangle, all of them add up to 180 degrees. So we have, looks like it's 7x plus 5 plus 20x plus 40. So we're adding all of this stuff up, but we can only add the x variables and then the numbers by themselves together. So those together, the letter x, we have 27x, and then the numbers by themselves are going to be 45. And all of that is added together to equal 180 degrees. Then we just start solving like we have been.